If it's Thursday, that means it's time for NSRLA. Welcome, race fans. I'm Ellis Thomas, joined tonight by Chris Smith and Cam Gillens here in the Slingshot TV booth. And tonight, we're bringing you the championship finale of the Downtown Auto Sales National Series live from the base of the Estrella Mountains at Phoenix Raceway. With its short front stretch, an enigmatic asymmetric layout, including that iconic left-hand dogleg. On the front stretch, this demanding 1 mile circuit has beckoned top-tier drivers since its inception back in 1964. A legend was forged that fateful autumn day when Mario Andretti tamed the ancient front-engine Offie Roadster Indy car around this treacherous track. And in 1988, the rumble of NASCAR's first echoed in the Valley of the Sun. And it's discovered that Phoenix Raceway was a formidable challenge to any driver. The roll call of NASCAR victors read like a who's who of stock car royalty. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Earnhardt, Elliott, Stewart, Martin, and the list could go on. In 2012, ISM Raceway underwent a radical transformation. That front straightaway was expanded to an impressive 62 feet, and the dogleg was pushed outward by over 95 feet. This track is a technical powerhouse. Chris, Estrella is the Spanish word for star, and the mountains were named by the Spanish explorers, possibly because of their distinctive shape or appearance on the landscape. Several drivers tonight who might shine bright like a star as this series champ. When that checkered flag flies, what are they going to have to do to get it done?
Well, Ellis, it's championship night, and it's a racetrack that is synonymous with crowning champions. And tonight, we're going to crown one. 6 drivers have a chance for it. They're going to have to navigate one of the most unique tracks on the NASCAR circuit. These drivers tonight have 160 laps around Phoenix Raceway, 65% of the fuel available to them. That puts them in about 51 laps on a tank of fuel, and that's going to make things very interesting at these stage breaks at lap 50 and at lap 100. We're crowning a champion tonight, Ellis. We're going to find out who it is here in a little bit.
Man, it is going to be one of the many stories we're following, giving away a diecast tonight. It is going to be an awesome night, crowning a champion at the end of it. So many drivers with the chance to walk away with their careers defined tonight at Phoenix. We're going to talk about that shortly, but before we do it, folks, let's go ahead. It's time to rise and remove those caps, if able, for the playing of the national anthem. We'll be right back. All right, we are back here in the Slingshot TV studio, just moments away from the start of the season championship finale here for NSRLA. Let's go ahead and talk about the big item of the night. What's the menu? Who's of opportunity to win this championship? Chris, let's go ahead and take a look at these 6 drivers. Of course, we got other drivers racing tonight, but Jacob Cochran and Evan Janik, Donnie, Honeycutt, Dustin Lewis, those are your top 4. Christian Barnes, tough luck last week at Atlanta. Tyler Honeycutt also in the chase here. Chris, which one of these drivers are you looking at as your potential favorite to win the championship? So many accolades that these drivers have built up. Every single one of these drivers, except Tyler Honeycutt, has Dustin Lewis, I should say, has a win. Could he go out and get it tonight and upset the field?
I think that's definitely his goal, what he would like to do. I think the path to victory, the path to the championship is a little bit harder for drivers 4, 5, and 6 in the championship points. I think that they have to have a lot of things go their way and a lot of, tough breaks for their championship competitors tonight. I think Jacob Cochran, Evan Janik, Donnie Honeycutt, they're sitting within 11 points of each other. Stage points, I think, are going to be critical tonight, to figure out how these points are going to swing. So definitely going to have our eyes on that tonight.
That is going to be one of the many stories we are following, folks. Make sure you let us know which of these drivers you are rooting for to win the championship. Let us know, is it going to be Cochran, Janik, Honeycutt, Lewis, or maybe the other Honeycutt or Christian Barnes? Anyone has a shot to win tonight. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the stories we're going to be following for not just these Championship 6 drivers, but every single driver that takes that green flag tonight with the stories to follow here. First of all, Chris, track position is going to be important. Why is your running spot such a premium tonight here at Phoenix?
It's one of the more difficult tracks to make a pass on. You can definitely complete passes here, but it is very, very difficult. You find that the lap times are very close here with this smooth surface here at Phoenix. Not many opportunities for drivers to make, big mistakes and huge variations in lap speed. And variations in lap speed make it easier to pass. When everybody's running as close lap time-wise as what you're going to see tonight, it does make it very, very difficult to complete passes.
Well, hitting your marks is going to be one of the things we're talking about all night. It's a very different track on opposite ends, Chris. How difficult does that make it for drivers to kind of stay focused and hit their rhythm and consistently make every corner the best one they can?
Yeah, it's one of the more difficult ones. You have to use a lot of brain power here, to try to prepare yourself for both ends of the track. Turns 1 and 2, they're a little bit flatter, a little bit, more of a sweeping corner, kind of rounded, whereas turns 3 and 4 is a little bit more banked, but a sharper corner. Difficult to get that car to turn down on the bottom of the racetrack. You'll see a lot of variation in grooves in 1 and 2, and I think that everybody's going to be around the bottom in 3 and 4. So hitting your marks is critical here around Phoenix Raceway.
And the dog leg. I think that dog leg is going to be the place to watch on restarts, Chris. It's going to be absolutely insane, folks. If you've ever watched a restart at the newly configured Phoenix Raceway, that dog leg, you're going to see 4 and 5 wide.
Yeah, you definitely are. And it says dangers of the dog leg because there's a lot of risk that goes into making some 3 and 4 and maybe even 5 wide moves going down the front stretch here. It's a marvel kind of this racetrack. It's a staple of this racetrack, but it does upset the car a little bit. And sometimes when drivers are merging back up from the apron of the racetrack, from the flat of the racetrack, back up to the racing surface, that's where you typically have some problems here at Phoenix. And so that's going to be something we have to watch out for, is when the drivers are, coming back on the racetrack, that they give each other enough room.
Speaking of giving each other enough room, we got 6 drivers out there, we alluded to it earlier, that have a chance to win the championship. We've got at least 10 other drivers out in the field who aren't necessarily in the championship hunt. Chris, does that impact the way that you race each other? Are those 6 championship drivers kind of expecting to have a cakewalk, a walk in the park tonight, and those other drivers just kind of let them go by?
Well, those drivers that, are also out there on the track, sharing the track with the championship drivers, they're out here to get a race win. They want to cap off their season. Many of them trying to, get their first win on the season. So yeah, that's something that we're going to have to watch and we're going to have to be mindful of as we go and as we get ready right here. Many of them racing for the Contender Series championship. So yeah, let's hope that those drivers are, courteous to the championship drivers, but also race them hard because, we want to be entertained as well.
We do want to be entertained. Speaking of being entertained in that championship hunt, we're going to do our best to keep generally live points for the top 6 championship drivers so you can kind of see how things are looking at the front of the championship field, folks. We are so glad you joined us for Championship Thursday. For Slingshot TV and NSRLA, this one is going to be a wild one. Let's go ahead and take it down to the track to look at where these drivers are going to be starting tonight in the season finale. We're just less than 2 hours away from crowning a championship. Let's go ahead, take a look at the starting grid. Tonight on the pole, it's going to be none other than Evan Janik. Chris, is that an advantage starting on the pole here? You think Evan Janik's got a leg up on the rest of the field now?
A huge advantage, yeah. Any type of track position advantage that you can get is very, very important. But he's surrounded by his championship competitors. Donnie Honeycutt sharing the front row with him, and just behind him is Jacob Cochran.
Jacob Cochran starting third. Travis Bieber starting fourth in that number 23. Winner last week at Atlanta, and it was a popular win indeed for driver 23. Can he go back-to-back here at Phoenix? He's starting fourth. Fifth, Adam Pettit. He's been so fast. Could he throw a monkey wrench in some of these championship favorites' hopes by pulling up the underdog upset win tonight? He comes from fifth. Bradley Minor with a wild win at Talladega just a couple of weeks ago. He starts sixth on the outside of row three. Another championship hopeful, Dustin Lewis, will come from seventh. I know he's got a cadre of fans in the chat tonight. Brandon V, so fast last week, but bad luck. Can he bounce back tonight? He's going to start on the outside of row number 4. Driver 47, David Moyer, starting inside the top 10. He comes from 9th tonight. Meanwhile, media man Casey Bristow starts 10th in that number 11 machine. Ryan Bittler with some fans watching in the bar tonight. He starts 11th in the number 9 machine. Cody Riggs, 12th tonight for that number 12 machine. Gino Volanti on his actual birthday, I believe, starting 35th.
Happy birthday.
13th in that number 35 machine. Brock Whiteman bringing tail end of the field in the 14th position, the number 41. Chris, pace car is already off. Kind of an interesting start as these drivers head down into this dog leg. They're going to be looking for the green flag appearing for the first time tonight. They're in that restart zone. We're underway for the final race, the championship finale of the NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series. Janet gets it cranked up down there on the bottom, slides back up to the top as they head down into the corner. Bieber a little bit loose on the outside. Jacob Cochran, like a shark smelling blood in the water, lunges to the inside for second as they head down the backstretch.
Yeah, Jacob Cochran not wanting to lose sight of race leader Evan Janik and one of his championship contenders. As you see right there, the live points. Cochran is going to complete the pass on Travis Bieber right here down the front stretch. Several drivers taking the dog leg, going down low right there onto the flat of the racetrack. And when you get down here, Ellis, into turns 1 and 2, look at the options that you have. You do have multiple lanes that you can pick from down on this end of the track.
Yeah, you can see that first two-wide battle. Bradley Minor, the number 96 of Adam Pettit, as we watch those two drivers duke it out through the dog leg here. Pettit gets the better of Minor, and suddenly Pettit opens the door for the 65 of Brandon V's. But look out, that number 22 Callaway machine, Donnie Honeycutt, trying to see if there's anything to be gained on that dog leg. Gives up a little bit of time there, but he's already went up to 7th place. Chris, big moments for Donnie Honeycutt starting tail end of the field. He's trying to claw his way back into this early on lap 3.
Yeah, he is right here. Going to complete the pass on his teammate Bradley Minor right here. Solidly moving up into the 6th position. He's got Brandon V's in front of him. V's is looking to the inside of Adam Pettit. Look at Honeycutt come. Looks like he comes out of nowhere right there. He's just coming from the inside, from the flat of the racetrack. As V's up in front of these guys is, oh man, that was really close right there. Almost some contact between he and Pettit. This track, Ellis, kind of races a little bit like a short track. I wouldn't classify it a short track, but it kind of has some characteristics, so we might see some bumping and nudging right here. So look at those drivers turn hard left onto the dog leg.
They are doing everything they can to fight their way up to the front. These championship hopefuls, including Honeycutt, is just pushing their way through the field. The battle on for 3rd position right now. Travis Bieber side by side with Adam Pettit. Pettit, Chris, he's got some legs under him tonight, all the way from 5th up to 3rd so far on that outside that he's rolling by Bieber. Lots of speed to be found there. Donnie Honeycutt, you can see him jump down there at the bottom of the dog leg. He's going to try to open up a spot on Travis Bieber in that number 23, Chris. The cream is rising to the top right now. Mark start, Donnie Honeycutt up to the 4th position. It's single file. You got to go all the way back to the Dustin Lewis machine. That's 9th position. He's doing battle with Brock Whiteman, who's trying to work his way forward in the field in that number 41 machine. Lewis, a couple spots back right now from where he started, maybe just trying to gather information on what this track is doing to these cars right now. His car maybe getting that handling sorted out as he slides up the track just a little bit. Currently, he's running in the 9th position.
Yeah, Dustin's actually got a little bit of damage to that right front. He's made some contact with somebody or with the wall here in the opening laps right here. I don't think it's anything too significant. Hopefully it doesn't hurt the handling of his car. Yeah, look at Donnie Honeycutt all the way. Feel like he is shortcutting the dog leg a little bit more than anybody else right here. And it just goes to show you, starting further back right here, he's being pretty aggressive in the early going right here, trying to make up that ground. This is the battle right here for 3rd. He's trying to capture it from Adam Pettit. And these guys right here are kind of closing in on our front too, Evan Janik and Jacob Cochran.
Yeah, Cochran and Janik doing battle. Cochran's kind of closed up to the back bumper of the 60 of Janik in just the last couple of laps. That number 8 seems to have come alive. And Chris, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. That is the fact that Jacob Cochran is so good on the long runs. Is that something you're worried about if you're Evan Janik, just knowing how much that driver number 8 can save his tires?
Definitely, yeah. We kind of have seen that here on Slingshot TV and all the races that we broadcast that Jacob Cochran has run. We've also seen Evan Janik also be good at conserving his tires too. So what you're seeing right here, I wanted to make note of this right now, is a couple of different approaches in turns 1 and 2. I mentioned before about how that's the end of the track where you got some options for how you run. Down here in 3 and 4, you're going to see them probably around the yellow. Yeah, they're all painting the yellow line right there in 3 and 4. But watch them as they, come down the front stretch right here. Some of them are going to take the dog leg. Jacob Cochran decides not to, but Cochran is going to run a little bit higher entry right here, kind of right there at that first seam, and then maybe do like a later apex, kind of diamonding the corner in a way. He doesn't exit super low right there, but he does get good momentum running that lane off of turn number 2.
Now, one thing, if we're looking at the championship picture right now, Chris, Evan Janik is as good as he can get, at least in stage 1. Not talking about a whole lot of points yet. We'll talk about stage points as this stage winds down in just a little bit. But you're going to have to be pretty flawless tonight if you're Evan Janik. If Jacob Cochran, and we ride on board with driver number 8, if he doesn't have any issues, Janik, he has to be perfect.
Yeah, he does. He needs to go out here in stage 1 and get max stage points. Go out there in stage 2, get max stage points in that stage. And, it might wind up that he doesn't get it and he can still win the championship, but that is definitely your best opportunity. You want to try to go out there and get everything that you possibly can. And, that's what we're seeing these top 3 do right now. Donnie Honeycutt, and we were riding on board with him right there. You saw how much he shortcut the front stretch. He's going to peek to the inside of Jacob Cochran. This is a battle for 2nd.
Battle for 2nd is on. Donnie Honeycutt has found some speed starting at the back of the field. Driver number 22, Chris, he's making use of that dog leg. It feels like every single lap. And Honeycutt, we're typically used to seeing him start on the pole, but he had to do it the hard way tonight as he rolls his way through the corner here. Slightly lower line than that number 8 of Jacob Cochran. It's about 4 car lengths that separate driver number 8 from Honeycutt just right behind him. But don't look now, because the car lengths between Janik, the leader, and the number 8 of Cochran, it's about a car length or less. Cochran closes in on the back bumper. This is a battle with championship implications here on lap number 15 at Phoenix Raceway. Cochran's going to try the outside line. Can he get a run off the corner to channel into that pass, or will Janik slide up and close the door? It's going to be a bit of a crossover that Cochran tries to pull here down into the dog leg, into this final corner before the start-finish line. Chris, how dangerous of a move is that as you think about going later into the race, plowing it down into that inside line? You saw Cochran wanting to slip up just a little bit.
Yeah, these cars will push up if you kind of shallow up the entry. And you see right there, Jacob Cochran is way up the hill right here in 1 and 2. But, you're going to see drivers do that, especially as we get more laps on the tires. I kind of mentioned before that this track does have some short track elements to it. It's just over a mile in length. But, you are heavy on the brakes down into these corners, especially this end right here that is rather flat. And you know, a lot of times you will take that short track mentality of like trying to show your nose and try to get out of line, get that driver kind of looking behind, and maybe they'll miss their marks. We talked about that in the pre-race about how important it is to hit your marks every single time around here, and you know, that's definitely a strategy you can employ.
Just 34 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Chris, Jacob Cochran might have gotten the wall just a little bit through that dog leg. It opens up the door for Donnie Honeycutt to slot his way up to 2nd position right now. And it's potentially going to move Jacob Cochran back a slot to 3rd position. And that is going to have major championship implications, because I believe that is going to bring us into a tie, if I'm correct, for the championship lead as they run with bonus points being counted for. Cochran sliding back a little bit right now into the clutches of the number 95 or 96 as we ride on board with Adam Pettit. We see the exhaust flames come out of the right side of these cars. Chris, what does that mean when these exhaust flames come out? I know fans watching at home, some of them might know, but for those fans who don't know, what's happening is, boy, ooh, Pettit's riding the back bumper.
Yeah, Pettit a little bit loose right there on corner entry. Yeah, whenever you see that the flames coming out of the exhaust on the right side of these cars, that just signifies that the driver is getting off the throttle at that point. Whenever you see it again, it might also signify they're getting back on throttle. So a lot of these tracks where you see a lot of part throttle, which, you know, this is one of them, you're possibly going to see it a lot more often than you will maybe at some other tracks. But watching, yeah, you see Donnie Honeycutt, he is off the gas right there down into the corner. You spend a lot of time coasting, using a little bit of brake and trying to use the steering wheel to also slow the car down. But yeah, that just signifies that they are off throttle and not utilizing all the horsepower in that moment that they have at their disposal.
Drivers trying to save every ounce of tires they have. Just 29 laps remaining here at Phoenix Raceway on lap 21 of the championship finale. Folks, we are so glad you tuned in. We're watching Dustin Lewis roll around here currently. Lewis is up to the 8th position, started 7th, dropped back early, but he's all the way up to 8th right now, trying to work his way back into this conversation for the championship. You can see about 30, 31 points out of it. He's going to have a monumental, epic night, and he's going to have to maximize his stage points. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Folks, if you're watching at home right now, we got folks tuning in the chat. George Mock is here every single week. We're glad George is here. He's looking for Dustin Lewis to win this thing, and Renee Lewis and Doodlebug obviously rooting on Lewis. Oh, in the chat, rooting on Jacob Cochran. Connor Lyons also rooting on that number 60. We know he's a Janik fan. Connor, we hope you're having a good night. We hope everyone in the chat's having a good night. If we can get to 30 live viewers, we're giving away a mystery diecast at the end of the night. So help us get up to 30 live viewers. Let's keep that chat going. We'll have some trivia and some games a little bit later in the night. Right now, it's all about these championship contenders. Up at the front, Evan Janik currently scored as your leader. Honeycutt's fallen off just a little bit, about 7 car lengths, maybe 6 or 7 car lengths off the back bumper of Evan Janik. 2 different lines going here. Chris, what do you make of that different approach to that corner?
Yeah, I've noticed Evan Janik since the very beginning of the race. He's been pretty committed to trying to roll the bottom, roll the yellow line down there in turns 1 and 2. We saw Jacob Cochran behind him earlier. He had a little bit of a later apex. He was trying to run the left front on the first seam. We're going to watch Donnie Honeycutt down here. We saw him run a little bit high before, and yeah, he's still up the track a little bit. Yeah, he's also trying to do that later apex right there. Yeah, it's just, you've got options. You got, a couple different mentalities. I can tell you from my perspective, for me, I've always preferred to kind of just roll the yellow line down there. I feel like that has always, helped me save tire the most. But, I don't think there's one line that's necessarily better than the other for saving tire. I think it's all about your driving style. Donnie can very well be running this line and, still be good on the long run. He's just, that's just where he is comfortable running. As back behind them, Jacob Cochran, Ellis, he was way up the hill down in turns 1 and 2.
He's struggling. That number 8 machine, we were just talking earlier about how that number 8, that Cochran, he usually is a guy who hangs on to his tires, but maybe getting the cart in front of the horse right now a little bit early in this run as he may be regretting using up as much tire as he has. But as soon as I say that, it looks like the number 8 has gotten it back going again, pulling away by about 8 car lengths down the back straightaway in front of Adam Pettit, who is suddenly fallen into the clutches of Travis Bieber in 5th position. That red car right at the back of the frame. Of course, Bieber, we got to talk about him because what a thrilling race that was in Atlanta last week. Chris didn't know who was going to win that thing till the very final corner on the very final lap, and Bieber pulled off a thrilling victory to get his first and only win of the season. And just awesome to see that 23 get to victory lane. We talked about, him really being due one as the season has gone on.
Yeah, we saw Jacob Cochran tag the wall right there off of turn number 2, but yeah, let's give a call to Travis Bieber, man. A great performance last week. He was up front all race long at Atlanta. That definitely didn't just fall into his lap. He had speed the entire race, and he has shown speed all season. So yeah, very cool to see him get to victory lane here. You see right here on the season, he's had 4 top 5 finishes. And he hasn't been in every single race, so he's always kind of been a consistent front runner, and yeah, he's showing his speed again here tonight. I would say, Ellis, that Phoenix is pretty far removed from EchoPark Speedway that we were at last week. Pretty different, a very drastic difference in the style of racing.
Yeah, it's impressive to see him not only fast there, but certainly backing that up. Cochran grabs the wall again, but the battle for the lead is on. Donnie Honeycutt wants it. He wants to take it away from Evan Janik, who currently, Chris, Janik has led every single lap of this race. And one thing we need to talk about, there's a bonus point on the line for leading every single lap. And folks, look at the points right now at the bottom of the screen. That bonus point for leading what should be, you got to get 80 tonight if you're guaranteed that 1 point bonus for leading the most laps. That would give Evan Janik the championship at the moment.
Yeah, that definitely gives him an advantage, leading the most laps. But, even if he does lead the most laps, he still has to walk out of here with a pretty solid finish, I believe, Ellis. So, it wouldn't be over with by that stretch, but that would be pretty monumental for him. I know that he probably came into this race thinking that he wanted to get max points and, getting the pole, leading the most laps, trying to collect stage wins. That's how you do it. And another thing to keep in mind right here while we watch these two battle it out right here for the lead is that I think that they are very close on fuel tonight to be able to make it to the end of the first stage. We received a little bit of intel in the pre-race that these drivers could go about 51 laps on a tank of fuel. So, if that number remains true, they might get a little bit better fuel mileage, Ellis, as the stage goes on. But if that number stays true, that's going to put them awfully close to making it to the end of stage 1.
Yeah, it's going to create some excitement in just about 15 laps from now at the moment. Right now, it is currently Evan Janik on top of the board. Look at this hornet's nest that Brandon Vees finds himself in, back with Bradley Minor and Dustin Lewis. Casey Bristow, Brandon Vees, Dustin Lewis all collide into the corner there. 33 at championship contender. And boy, Chris, we put it on the camera, put the camera on these guys right at the right moment. Good job, Cam. What happened to these guys with the dog leg?
Yeah, looks like some contact from Brandon Vees into the left rear of, Casey Bristow. Seemed like Brandon Vees definitely charged the corner a lot more than his competitors in front of him were charging down in there, because you could really see. We'll go back and watch it right here. He does close up on the 11, but he also closes up on the 33 as well. So kind of tells me right there that maybe Brandon went down a little bit lower right here. Yeah, good camera angle right here, riding on board with him. You see coming back up onto the track from the dog leg. I think that, also coming back on the track like this, Ellis, it's very easy to miss your mark because you're looking at it from a very different perspective at a different angle. You almost have to get on the binders a little bit quicker when you're coming up off of the apron down there.
Right now, cars on pit road, several cars, I should say, on pit road, getting the damage repaired. That's a good opportunity for Dustin Lewis to come get that thing patched up with several other drivers. Jacob Cochran, Donnie Honeycutt, Chris. Evan Janik stayed out. Everyone else is on pit road. We can talk about this call in a second once we see these cars race off of pit road. you're Cochran, you're just trying to maybe get by Honeycutt, one of your closest competitors in the championship hunt. Those left side tires go up, and we're going to roll off pit road. One car, I believe that's Brock Whiteman, might have taken two. It gets off a little quick, and Jacob Cochran does not beat Donnie Honeycutt off of pit road there. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a two-tire call for Brock Whiteman in the number 41. David Moyer also stayed out on that pit exchange, but he's going to quickly come down pit road, and going to leave Evan Janik in the lead. Chris, what's Janik thinking right here? What's the strategy?
Well, I guarantee you this was a just Donnie Honeycutt was going to do the opposite, I think, of what Evan Janik did. And unfortunately for Evan, they all followed Donnie Honeycutt down pit road. So I think Evan might be in a little bit of trouble right here on this restart. Brock Whiteman will be one buffer car right here. I think that you'll see they're taking the choose this time right here. I think that you'll see and it looks like Brock Whiteman is going to select the outside lane right here, and I think that Donnie Honeycutt will line up right behind Evan Janik. So if I'm Evan right here, man, this is tough. It's going to be really hard to hold on to this, your position right here. I'm thinking right here, I don't want to get wrecked, honestly, if I'm on these old tires right here and these guys have fresh rubber behind me.
Yeah, I definitely am. I'm definitely hurting a little bit for Evan Janik right now. We're not going to have to wait long to find out what's going to happen. The pace car makes that turn down pit road. Obviously, it's a little bit different. That pit road begins on the backstretch. These drivers going to go down that backstretch. They got a moment to think about the restart as they roll down into turn number 3 before it hits the dog leg to become the start-finish line. Such a weird track at Phoenix, and I don't know if I'll ever get used to it, Chris, but they got to get used to the green flag coming out because it's about to be visible once again here at Phoenix. Restart is underway. Evan Janik is the control car.
Oh, Brock Whiteman in trouble.
Adam Pettit, big trouble. Jacob Cochran, Chris. Cochran might have gotten into that. Maybe just avoided some damage. And does it seem likely that 41 might have missed a shift or gone down?
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch it right here. The problem is definitely going to be around that 41 machine. Yeah, it looks like to me he spun the tires, or I wonder if that also maybe was... I'm going to ride on board with him right here, see if I can hear. Oh, no, he missed a shift. Yeah, it does look like he spun his tires, but I'm assuming he's in second gear. And yeah, let's ride on board with him right here. Coming up through the gears right here, coming up to the restart zone, accelerates, and then when he goes to third gear, he goes down to first gear by accident right there. And unfortunately for Adam Pettit, just an innocent bystander as he gets hooked in the right rear by the 41.
Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. I think Jacob Cochran's going to get out of that one cleanly, but boy, Janik and Honeycutt still up front. Cochran's going to have some work to do. Chris, let's go ahead. Fans watching at home, glad you're tuning in. Renee Lewis, Doodlebug, they're not happy about Dustin Lewis's earlier misfortune. Paul Thomas says flames coming out of the race car's exhaust happen when unburned fuel ignites the hot exhaust system instead of fully burning inside the engine cylinder. Appreciate all those comments coming in, folks. Let us know what you think is going to happen to them tonight. Let's go ahead and play just a little bit of trivia. The question tonight, right now, currently is, Phoenix famously contains more miles of irrigation canals than which iconic European city? Phoenix City, that is. Not Phoenix Raceway, but Phoenix City. Let us know what European city Phoenix has more miles of irrigation canals than. It's a famous city that has a lot of canals in Europe. We'll give you that hint. Chris, I know you know it as a history and geography teacher. They teach geography anymore? Is that a thing still? Yeah, I'll take that as a no. Right now, drivers working their way here around the corner through the dog leg. They go. Pace car going to be turning out those lights. Actually, yeah, there they go, the lights right now. 1 to go. These drivers going to take their choose rule. Looks like Janik and Honeycutt going to line up on the bottom. Honeycutt must like that bottom line. Chris Shane Bieber going to or Travis Bieber, I should say, going to line up second on the outside, and he's going to have Gino Volante, birthday boy Gino, in that number 35 Toyota machine. I'm excited to see how Gino does on this restart. Maybe get a birthday win.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, I talked to him in the pre-race. I think that he would definitely want that. He didn't feel confident about his chances tonight. I don't think he really gets along with this track very well, but It's looking really good right now in the 4th spot. And we'll see what Evan Janik can do right here on these old tires on this restart.
Yeah, we'll see what Evan Janik can do, trying to lead the most laps tonight. He's halfway there, leading all 40 of them so far. Just 9 laps left here, 10 laps at the line, I should say. We're underway again at Phoenix Raceway in the championship finale. Janik gets away cleanly. No trouble this time like just a few laps ago. Travis Bieber slides back to 3rd position. It's going to open the door for Jacob Cochran right behind Honeycutt there. Donnie Honeycutt, that is. Boy, Honeycutt lunges towards the number 60. We could have a battle for the lead, but that momentum is going to shift to the number 8 machine. Honeycutt throws the block down the back straightaway, lunges in, almost makes contact with the back bumper of Evan Janik. Every single position matters, Chris. Every playoff point, or I should say stage point, is on the line. 10 stage points go to the winner of stage 1, and then descending order from there on out, and they are of a premium in the championship finale. Honeycutt assumes the lead for the first time tonight. Janik is not the lead. In fact, he slides back to 3rd position. That 60 is in trouble.
Yeah, he's right here, and this is no surprise. He's hanging in there pretty tough right here, considering the tire disadvantage that he has. But it's going to be difficult for him to maintain his position right here. As Travis Bieber is looking to the inside now, shortcutting the track right there, getting the run right here down into turn 1. But yeah, I think he's going to be able to complete the pass as we go back up here for the lead.
Battle for the lead. Jacob Cochran trying to lay chase to Donnie Honeycutt. 2 championship contenders, top 3 in points coming into the evening. We'll update you on those championship standings shortly, folks. That city in Europe was Venice. So many of you guessed it correctly. Shout out to the folks who got it correct in the chat. Don't forget, we're potentially going to be giving away a diecast. We get 30 live viewers right now. The viewers who are here, they've tuned in to watch a championship race, and a championship race they are getting. Evan Janik, Chris, about to lose another spot. Adam Pettit has to lift off that throttle. Pettit with trouble through the dogleg. Is that number 96 parking it? Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I'm looking for an issue on the track, but I don't see one. And man, we usually get a crash 3 or 4 laps before the end of the stage, but tonight we got a caution, and we don't even have a crash to look at. Not sure if I wouldn't have think that brought out the caution.
Well, it's pretty close to the racing surface. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that. I don't know. It seems like that might have brought out the caution, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Adam, if he had something going on, but yeah, he manually disconnected right when he pulled it to the inside right there and stopped. So yeah, that's unfortunate right here. Hopefully, we can get a clean restart right here to round out stage 1.
Yeah, no ill intent on the part of that driver. Maybe just a mistake that didn't realize it was going to bring out the caution. But it's going to put us under caution, folks. We're going to take a moment to hear from our partners at Whiplash SimCams. We're going to be right back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. They're bringing us all the views tonight. Back here live at Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. Championship race underway. Just a few laps remaining in stage number 1. We're going to see if we're going to get this underway. I think, Chris, we might have a 1-lap shootout. I think they're going to give drivers 1 lap. And boy, we talk about playoff points, stage points mattering. It's going to matter here as drivers duke it out for 10 whole points. How conservative are you if you're back in third? Are you trying to get from 8 points to 10 points, Chris? Are you good just kind of managing the gap?
Yeah, I think that you also have to take into account like where you are at this stage of the race. We're just at completing lap 47. working lap 48 right here. I would not be willing to throw the race away and possibly even throw my championship hopes away, on this restart right here. I do think stage points are important, very important. I think Donnie Honeycutt is in a very good position on the inside lane right here. As soon as he crosses the start-finish line, he can shortcut the dog leg and, have a pretty big advantage going into turn number 1 right here. So I think it's going to be really difficult to do anything with him on this restart, but we know that guy on the outside, Jacob Cochran. He's kind of savvy, so he might have something for him.
He is a little bit savvy. We're going to see if Cochran brings the heat on the outside this time, looking for those 10 stage points. That is going to have a massive championship point swing. We'll keep track of that on the bottom right hand of the screen. But right now, it's all on Donnie Honeycutt. Takes that green flag, gets the field pack underway. 1 lap separate us between right now and the end of stage number 1. Looks like Janet Chris down to the inside. He's going to take him 3 wide down into turn 1. Can he pull off a miracle and pick up a couple of spots on this restart? Doesn't look like that miracle is going to happen now. Janik just trying to hold on to 4th position from a hard-charging Bradley Miner. A couple cars getting a scrum down the backstretch. Donnie Honeycutt currently scored as your leader. Jacob Cochran 2nd. Travis Bieber 3rd. Cars just trying to make it to the line. It's going to bring us under the caution flag.
We got one more lap.
One more lap, I should say. Lap 51. There it is right now. Caution flag is out.
Oh.
Stage 1 is over. 50 laps.
That's my mistake.
Have a laps here at Phoenix Raceway. No, you're good. We're neither one of us are math teachers, so we're lucky we're getting along as well as we are right now. And that's going to move up Donnie Honeycutt 10 points. Let's go ahead. Chris, I'm going to let you talk for a second, if you don't mind, while I adjust these points so we can get a live view of how things are looking for folks.
Yeah, in that stage right there, things definitely worked out in the favor of Donnie Honeycutt, and it did not work out to Evan Janik's favor, considering the speed that he had, at the end of, or at the beginning, of stage number 1. But if I'm Evan Janik, I definitely have some confidence in the speed that I've got in that number 60. As these drivers come down pit road right here to come to the attention of their crews. Evan Janik might have lost out on some stage points right there, but he definitely has, it seems like, Ellis, he definitely has the pace. He definitely seems like he has the long run pace tonight to compete, for this race win.
I think he's definitely got something for these drivers tonight as he leads them down pit road. That's Donnie Honeycutt leading them down pit road. It is 3 of the top 4 drivers, championship contenders, the championship favorites, if you will. We haven't forgot about Dustin Lewis. Trouble earlier. He's running in the 12th position. And, boy, they swing it down pit road. Drivers got to be careful not to slide it into their pit box. Everyone looks like they got into the stalls comfortably and cleanly. Maybe right side tires or fuel only here for Donnie Honeycutt and Travis Bieber. Gutsy call, Chris, but we'll remind viewers, Honeycutt came down pit road earlier. Evan Janik's really the only one you got to be concerned about. Must necessarily take 4 tires because he had stayed out on those series of cautions right before the stage concluded.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we're going to be watching their progress right here on this restart right here to see how they are how they're able to maintain right there. I'm looking at, I just want to look at times real quick just to verify. Yeah, the front 2, those are definitely fuel-only stops right there on Donnie Honeycutt and Travis Bieber. So I don't think, and we didn't see, Ellis, we didn't see Evan Janik plummet through the field, right? If you watched the SRL Grand National Series last night at Rockingham, and if you would have stayed out on old tires last night, you would have seen somebody plummet through the field on that track. We saw him kind of maintain. He did get past, but he's able to walk out of there with a pretty decent stage finish. So I don't necessarily mind this call right here from Donnie Honeycutt and Travis Bieber. They are electing right here to try to hold on to some track position here as we begin stage number 2.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good call. I like it as well. Getting ready to begin stage number 2. Donnie Honeycutt currently scored as the leader. Pace car is going to pull off. And remember, they've got to work their way down the backstretch. They've got some time, some moments of silence to think about what this restart is going to look like. Is headed down there at 55 miles an hour, pace car pit road speed. to slow crawl down that backstretch. Just 110 laps remaining. 115 laps remaining, separating us between now and the end of this race and the championship being crowned. Donnie Honeycutt gets away cleanly on the restart. Jacob Cochran moves into second, takes advantage of that inside starting spot that he got on the choose rule. He's going to slide down into the corner. Evan Janik now right behind them. You can see him at the bottom of the frame. Third position on the inside. Now Jacob Cochran sideways, trying to make a maneuver for the lead. Side by side, maybe a little bit of contact there. Does he force Honeycutt's hand down into the dogleg? The answer is no. You got to be careful. Can he get the momentum as they cross through the line? A bit of a wiggle from driver number 8 up to second place, but he wants more as they go down into turn 1 on lap 56.
Yeah, this is definitely the best time to complete the pass when drivers are all packed up on top of each other here on the restart. But Jacob Cochran exercising some patience right there. Oh, one car sideways off the corner right there, able to gather it up back behind these guys. I believe that was the number 12, Cody Riggs, our leader in the contender points. But meanwhile, Jacob Cochran coming back after Gino Volante, trying to do all he can to grab the race lead.
Everything he can do to grab the race lead. Now he's going to cross over the number 22. Will Honeycutt have the momentum using that outside line to pick up carry a little bit of more speed through the corner as they head down into turn number 3 and 4? Two different approaches. Look at how hard that number 8 of Jacob Cochran can charge the corner. Chris, he looks like he's hitting his marks better through turns 3 and 4, certainly than Donnie Honeycutt is, and it's going to put him in position to make the pass, but Honeycutt drives it hard down into the corner on the outside. Cochran to the inside. Now side by side. It's going to be a drag race down the back straightaway. Momentum Honeycutt. Cochran going to slide back into second position. See if he makes another move on him. Down into the dogleg here, side by side. These are two championship contenders, giving it all, not one to leave a single ounce on the track tonight as they head down into turns 1 and 2, still sideways. It's been a long season, 17 races culminating tonight, one race to decide a championship. Honeycutt into the wall a little bit, a light tap, but smoke ensued. Will that impact the balance in the handling of the number 22? Evan Janik hopes the answer to that question is yes.
Riding on board right here with Evan Janik. He's smelling blood in the water right there as Donnie Honeycutt had that loss in momentum after just brushing the wall right there on the corner exit right there. Yeah, Jacob Cochran getting out into some clean air. This is the first time I think all race, Ellis, that he has experienced clean air on the nose of that Ford Mustang. And yeah, he's really liking probably the way that thing feels out front compared to how it was in traffic earlier. Look at Evan Janik on these fresh tires. Turn through the center of turns 3 and 4. Shortcut the dog leg right here, and he's going to complete the pass. Put number 60 up into the second spot.
Evan Janik doing everything he can to maximize his points tonight. 12 points separate him from championship leader Jacob Cochran, trying to claw his way back into this race. But if Jacob Cochran's the leader, it's going to be very difficult to do, folks. We got the championship contenders highlighted on the board right now. We got their live points or close to live points on the bottom right hand of the screen. A couple comments coming in the chat. Connor Lyon says, "What does NASCAR stand for?" Do we want to know? It's a joke. Supposedly Connor's joke of the night. We'll let that marinate for a minute, Connor. We're looking forward to hearing the answer. We'll let folks think about that one for just a moment. Folks, let us know who you think is going to win tonight, whether it's win the championship or win the race. We want to hear from you. We want to know who you think is going to take home that victory here with just now 97 laps remaining in the desert under the starry night. Right outside the Australia Mountains, these drivers giving it their all on one of the most difficult tracks on the circuit. But currently watching that battle, that is a battle for, I believe, the 6th position. Brock Whiteman, Bradley Minor with Cody Riggs in the number 12 right behind them. One of the tightest battles going on the track right now. Whiteman making the full use of that dog leg. Bradley Minor just keeping it up on the track right now. Chris, that dog leg, man, what is your opinion on the dog leg? Are you one of the drivers who likes to make use of that? I've had some bad experiences with it in the past. What about you?
Yeah, for me, I guess it just depends on the vehicle. I think with these O'Reilly Auto Parts Series cars, I think that they are much more suited for the dog leg than the next gen is. I can remember running a next-gen race here, Ellis, and, if you know my track record in the next-gen, it probably makes sense, where people were self-spinning by hitting the apron in the dogleg with the floor of the car underneath. So I think a lot of it just depends on what vehicle you're in. If I'm in the race, yeah, because I want to try to get every advantage that I can get. So I typically will shortcut it. If I'm racing somebody for position, if I'm close to them on the track, like you see Cody Riggs doing to Brock Whiteman right here. This is a battle for the 7th spot going on right here. 6th position up ahead of them, Bradley Minor. If I'm racing side by side or close to somebody, I want to shortcut it. If I'm kind of on my own, saving, just trying to hit all my marks, I'll probably just run the conventional line.
I know I've been running on that normal line and had drivers slam up into me from the dog leg, from that apron, and just kind of caught me off guard and almost had a heart attack. I was so surprised. But right now, right behind Bradley Minor, the battle is on. That's a battle for the 7th position. Riggs has it. Brock Whiteman, that 41, wants it. They're going to settle that out. It's going to move Whiteman back to the 8th position. Cody Riggs up to the 7th position. Meanwhile, up front, Evan Janik still lying in wait behind Jacob Cochran. Working our way to lap 100. About 32 laps remaining in this stage, or 33 laps, I should say, in this stage. Currently, Cochran has been running some of the fastest laps. In fact, Chris, he's run the 2nd fastest lap of the night. You got to go up to Donnie Honeycutt to find the fastest driver. Honeycutt currently back in the 3rd position, but are you surprised Janik hasn't been able to make any better use of those new tires?
No, I mean, because he's on even playing field right here with Jacob Cochran. I think that, he's making progress at about the rate that, you would expect right here. I think it's very encouraging that he is making the progress that he is making right now on Jacob Cochran. Donnie Honeycutt, I think, made a wise decision right there to, just deciding to take fuel only, as we got a battle for the lead right here. Evan Janik to the inside, shortcutting the dogleg. That 60 car, Ellis, has a lot of long run pace in it tonight. And Ellis, he also has a tire advantage on Jacob Cochran now. He's only taken 1 set of tires. I think this is important, while Jacob Cochran is now on his 2nd set of tires.
That is a big deal that could pay dividends as the race goes on. You can see the title fight on the bottom of the screen. Janik takes that dogleg. Is there anything to be gained from it? Janik about dead even as they head down into turns 1 and 2. The battle for the lead and potentially a battle for the championship brewing here. Almost halfway through the championship finale at Phoenix for NSRLA. Janik cools his jets, gets out the throttle, maybe going to let those tires cool down and make another pass at Cochran here the next lap or so. But meanwhile, in the moment, Cochran pulls out to about a 2 or 3 car length lead. He is the current leader with Evan Janik 2nd, Donnie Honeycutt 3rd. Top 3-point contenders 1st through 3rd, Chris. This is going to be wild. No room to breathe for any of these drivers. Speaking of no room to breathe, Brock Whiteman and Cody Riggs side by side. That's actually Bradley Minor and Cody Riggs as they wind their way through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they go. Contact there between those two drivers just a moment ago.
Definitely close quarters racing right here. I mentioned before this track kind of drives like a short track, and I don't think that's the last close quarters racing that we're going to see tonight. But that battle that's going on for the race lead, Ellis, I think that just kind of emphasizes right here, Cam. I wonder if we can, go split screen right here, Cam, if that's possible, and ride on board right here. Keep an eye outside and also keep an eye inside the car right here, riding on board with Evan Janik, kind of looking over his right shoulder. Look how Janik is, he's using the apron down here in 1 and 2. That's definitely you see that in real life here at Phoenix. Drivers will sometimes, especially on restarts, will go really low down here in turns 1 and 2, try to make up as much ground as they can. Down right here into turns 3 and 4, you see right here a couple different approaches right there. It looks like Jacob Cochran driving it in a little bit deeper. Of course, he's not close enough this time. Let's see if we can ride on board one more lap right here. See if Evan Janik is close enough to that number 8 machine. Track position is so important tonight, Ellis, and, we saw Evan Janik chase down Jacob Cochran, but he could not do anything with him once he chased him down, like he tried to complete the pass, but Jacob Cochran just had so much momentum on that top lane right here. And yeah, we're seeing that right there. I think this is just such a good vantage point right here to show a couple of different approaches. They're very subtle differences, but there are some differences in how these drivers approach Phoenix Raceway.
Will those differences play a role in how this race concludes just 75 laps from now, halfway in the championship finale for the NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series? Folks, I'm Ellis Thomas, joined by Chris Smith, Cam Gillens here in the booth. It has been a fantastic season, 18 races, getting ready to be in the books for this first time we've covered NSRLA. And Chris, it's been an absolute joy doing so, seeing some of the best drivers we've covered on our channel while covering these NSRLA races. And you're really looking at two of them here. Multiple wins over the course of the season. I believe both drivers had three coming into tonight. And it's a very good possibility one of them could have four and a championship ring on by the time we are done with it. Just 72 laps from now, Janik lying in wait, looking at lap times last time by. They're almost dead even. These cars, they are evenly matched, almost built for this storyline here coming into the championship finale. Cochran has been so good on the long runs. Janik has a lot of short run speed. Right now, they're nose and tail, first and second. I know Connor in the chat, he's asking for a crank it up. Cam, we got some static cams to maybe make that happen. All right, let's do it for the final race, final time of this season. Connor, this one's for you. Let's go ahead and crank it up and hear the sights and sounds of Phoenix Raceway. Chris, that view through turns 1 and 2 really shows the difference in approach for these drivers. They take just absolutely electric so far right now. Janik right in the back bumper as we ride on board out the back of the number 8 of Jacob Cochran. And yeah, Chris, I'm so impressed with the ability of Janik to rotate it through the corner underneath that yellow line. It reminds me of the old school approach I remember these drivers running back on that apron and below in 2003 and 2004. I know they do it now as well, but it used to be one of the preferred lines at Phoenix. And right now, Janik is working that preferred line to his magic and his benefit. Good run indeed for the number 60 of Evan Janik. Mark
he's going to slide job.
Spot. New sheriff in town. Does he close the door in time? The answer is yes. Janik now P1. Jacob Cochran back to second position. Big move. Big swing for Evan Janik. Just 17 laps left in the stage. He wants every point he can accrue, and to do so, he's going to have to win the stage here. Lap 84 of 150. They're ticking away quick, Chris.
They are. They played nice right there in turns 1 and 2. You saw Evan Janik. He really shortcut the dogleg, and then he drove it in very deep into turn 1. Turns 1 and 2 right here is a great opportunity for a slide job to be performed. And when I say a slide job, if you watch NASCAR racing, you know that that's a dirt term that has been applied to NASCAR racing. You see NASCAR drivers attempt to do that. What you try to do is you try to drive it in very deep into the corner, kind of slide up in front of that driver that you pass, and you might slow down, overslow the middle of the corner because of that, but that's a good way to complete a pass on a track that's difficult to pass on.
And he's doing a great job of it right now. All these drivers on the track doing an absolutely impeccable, amazing job, we should add. Just looking through the field, I want to talk about Brock Whiteman for a second. Back in 7th position, you called it, Cam. That number 41, 7 positions up after starting 14th on the night. Whiteman's a driver who came in to NSRLA about a midway point through the season. Hasn't gotten that win yet, but he has been fast. It feels like every single week. 33 laps since he last pit. And you can see those season stats. 1 top 5, but just so many top 10s. And in those 9 starts, it's been an impressive campaign. Short campaign, but an impressive campaign nonetheless for that number 41 machine of Brock Whiteman.
Yeah, absolutely. A great performance tonight right here. He's putting a lot of pressure on Cody Riggs, another driver, Ellis, who hasn't been here the whole season, but, you know, when he has been here, he has been very impressive in that number 12 car. And these drivers, he's leading the contender points, and these drivers right here battling it out right here for the 6th position. And I know they're probably going to be really excited for what's upcoming in NSRLA, you know, getting a chance to get a fresh start maybe, and, you know, maybe thinking about contending for a championship.
Absolutely. New season's always right around the corner. And, you know, momentum in one season can channel into momentum at the start of another season. Both of those drivers hoping that is going to be the case. Comments coming in the chat. Connor talking about this. Tell your driver to stop winning. He's not a Richard Petty. Oh, you know, you're right, Connor. He's better than Richard Petty. Tyler Reddick.
Oh, boy.
Showing how good he is right now. We all knew he had it in him. This is an impressive start to the season. 3 for 3. Chris, I think he's the first ever driver to win the first 3 races of the season.
Yeah, I think that you're right, but you need to be really careful about saying things like how he's greater than Richard Petty. That's mighty bold of you.
Hey, man, it's a different time. I think it's harder to win now than it ever was for many of Richard Petty's years racing. Not to diminish his accomplishments at all, but it's a different sport now, for better or for worse. And boy, right now, Evan Janik doing everything he can be to mimic Tyler Reddick and get a win here at Phoenix. It's going to be next week that Reddick goes for win number 4 in a row. Right now, Janik looking for another win to add to his 3 wins on the season and maybe a championship. Now just 9 laps left in stage number 2. 10 points again on the line for the stage winner. That would move Janik up 1 more position. And Chris, he could potentially also get most laps led tonight. So he got the pole. He's trying to get everything he can as we ride on board with Jacob Cochran. Every little thing matters, and I think Janik's well on his way to locking up the most laps led. In fact, can we get, in a minute, Cam, when you get a chance, can we get a race stats on Janik just so we know how close he is to getting those 80 laps led potentially to, right now he's led 51. He's got 29 laps left if he's going to claim, guaranteed I should say, the most laps led point. So big opportunities coming up in the next 10 laps or so for Janik. Potentially lock up an additional 2-point gain on Jacob Cochran. That would put him within 3 points. And I know it's early to start talking about where those points are going to shake out on the final few laps of this race, but it's tight right now, Chris.
Yeah, it definitely is, Ellis. And I can go ahead and tell you right here, you know, his championship competitors, Donnie Honeycutt has led 16 laps tonight. Jacob Cochran has led 24 laps tonight. So just kind of how he compares to them right there. He's got a pretty significant advantage at this point on laps led. If he can continue clicking them off right here, that's guaranteed bonus points.
Guaranteed bonus points right now. He's clicking off some hot laps, edging away from Jacob Cochran here over the last 4 laps or so. It's about 6 or 7 car lengths that separate the leader from second place, Evan Janik, from Jacob Cochran. If you know, you know. Right now, lap number 95. Janik in the 60 machine. I know Connor Lyons is rooting him on in the chat, going for that championship, but he's going to need a little bit of help. He's going to need some potential stage points, and they're going to need a little bit of luck on his side if Jacob Cochran's going to fall back a couple spots potentially for the championship. Folks, we appreciate you joining us right now on Slingshot TV. Final third of the race here, the final race of the NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series. You can see where the championship contenders run. It's not been the night that Dustin Lewis would have preferred. Currently, Lewis back in the 13th position in the pits, just kind of sitting there, Chris. It's going to pretty much eliminate him from the championship hunt. So we're looking at these top 3 drivers, and sure as the sun, they are in the top 3 positions. And yeah, look at that. Donnie Honeycutt, a little bit faster lap times than Jacob Cochran right now, but it's not going to be enough with just 3 laps left in this stage.
Yeah, and that's pretty impressive. He does have a little bit older tires on that 22 car. But yeah, he's got, I think this is encouraging right here. You know, he's kind of maintaining with these guys up ahead, maybe even reeling them in slightly here as we approach the end of stage 2. If I'm Donnie Honeycutt, you know, I've got to feel a little bit of confidence right here in the sense that, you know, my long run pace might be in pretty good shape tonight for this final stage. And that, you know, he does have one more set of tires than Jacob Cochran, one of his championship rivals.
Absolutely. Now just 2 laps left, 2.5 laps left in stage number 2. Getting ready for the final third of this championship finale. Janik trying to hold on to the lead. Jacob Cochran second. Donnie Honeycutt slowly clawing his way into the picture. They work their way by the lap car of Casey Bristow. Stays high on the track. Lets Cochran and Janik underneath. Donnie Honeycutt's going to be next to get by. Going to be working their way towards the white flag on stage 2 here momentarily, folks. You can follow the pretty much live point standings on the bottom right hand of the screen to see where your favorite driver is running and let you know how close this actually is. Currently 5 points separating Evan Janik. Was that Cochran who got the wall, Chris?
Yeah. Well, he got close to it. Now. Yeah, he had to squeeze out of the throttle right there to avoid hitting it. I think he was trying to make a last-ditch effort right there to close ground on Evan Janik, but definitely could have been worse than what it wound up being.
Absolutely. Half a lap left for Evan Janik. He's going to win stage number 2 pending any sort of catastrophic incident or failure. He's going to cross the line, see that green and white checkered flag. That's stage 2 in the book, folks. Caution's going to be thrown here in just a moment once the rest of the top 10 crosses the line. There it is. Caution out here in Phoenix. Stage point's going to be awarded. Big moments, Chris. This could potentially, we're going to have 60 laps left in this thing. Can drivers make it on fuel, or is it going to be super close if we were to go green the rest of the way?
Yeah, based on the numbers we got in pre-race, I think it's going to be difficult for them to make it all the way. But if we do get a caution, you know, and we get one fairly quickly, I think the drivers are going to have, I think that they'd be pretty close then. And I think that they would find it to be very difficult to come down pit road, considering how important we've seen track position be for these drivers tonight.
Absolutely. Right now, they're definitely going to be coming down pit road. Everyone looking for fresh tires and fuel. Led by Evan Janik. 4 points out of the championship lead, but he is the winner of stage number 2. Brings down Jacob Cochran, Casey Bristow, Donnie Honeycutt, and the rest of the field. You can see them coming to the attention of their pit crews here. They'll make that left-hand turn down the main pit road. 55 miles an hour, I should say 45 miles an hour on pit road. Janik might have been a mile an hour over, but I think he's going to be okay. Unlikely to get a speeding penalty. Brock Whiteman in the chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just wanted to mention this is a difficult pit road to see your pit stall, you know, with this left-hand turn right here. You know, we were on one of them last night, Ellis, and if your pit stall is in one of those, you know, stalls that's in the left-hand turn, it's difficult to see your pit stall as Evan Janik is going to win the race off of pit road.
It is difficult indeed. Most drivers look like they came out unscathed with flawless stops. Folks, we're going to take just a minute to hear from, for the final time, our partners here for this Downtown Auto Sales series. It's Downtown Auto Sales and Diesel Laptops. We appreciate their support over the course of the season. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. If you're shopping for dependable used cars in Cumming, Georgia, start with the team you can trust, Downtown Auto Sales, right at 208 Atlanta Road. They've got something for every driver, reliable daily commuters, family SUVs, even upscale luxury options, all priced fairly and backed by a 4.6-star Google rating. The staff is friendly, process is easy, and if they don't have exactly what you're looking for, their car locator service will track it down for you. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturdays until 4. Stop by or give them a call at 470-239-8979. Downtown Auto Sales. Quality cars, zero hassle. Is downtime costing your fleet money? And check out Diesel Laptops, the industry leader in diesel diagnostics since 2014. From rugged handheld scanners to mobile apps and full repair databases, they give you the tools to read the codes, run DPF regens, and fix issues fast on your phone, tablet, or laptop. Fix more, worry less, keep trucking. Visit diesellaptops.com. Back here, you are looking live at Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. What could be the final restart of the night? Underway. Back, green flag racing here at Phoenix. That's Evan Janik in second place. The battle is on. Donnie Honeycutt's got it. Jacob Cochran wants it as they sail down in to turns 1 and 2. Janik jumps out to a quick lead. Donnie Honeycutt second, Jacob Cochran third. Travis Bieber along with Cody Riggs. That's the battle for fourth position. You can see them sailing it down into turns 3 and 4, getting ready to cross the line. Travis Bieber looks like he's got that position, but the number 12 of Cody Riggs fights back 3 wide down into the dogleg. Cochran's up top. Got to be careful. Just about an inch separates Travis Bieber's front bumper from the rear bumper of the championship leader, Jacob Cochran, who's found himself in a hornet's nest. Donnie Honeycutt up front. Battle for the lead. Honeycutt has it now. Janik back into second position. Big moment. Drivers swapping positions. There are going to be championship implications there. Move Donnie Honeycutt up to the lead here on lap 107. Yeah,
something's wrong. Something's wrong with Jacob Cochran. Jacob Cochran just pulled way low and let everybody go by down the front stretch right there. I don't know what happened to the number 8. Yeah, and also Evan Janik is slow right here on the bottom of the racetrack. Not sure what's going on with... Oh, you know what it might be, Ellis? I bet they're in fuel conservation mode right now. I think
you are right. I think... Oh, my goodness! Oh. Brock Whiteman and Evan Janik.
My gosh.
Janik's got to be careful. He wants to save fuel, but not at the expense of his fuel cell. Almost got demolished there through turns 1 and 2. These drivers got to be aware. Yeah. He's got to be on the radio right now saying, guys, I am just in fuel-saving mode. I know he wants to hold those drivers off, but they are hungry to get by.
Yeah, and you see Travis Bieber right here trying to come up and take the race lead because I think Donnie Honeycutt saw that going on as well. It was like, I got to save as well right here, but... You know, if I'm Donnie, you know, I also got the race lead. That's hard to give it up, but I think he will right here down the backstretch as Travis Bieber is going to look to the inside. Yeah, I think that this is the time to do it. You know, put yourself in the fuel window as early as you can so you can race hard in the closing stages.
I think this is indeed the strategy to play. And boy, look at it. 8 points separate first, second, and third in the championship. Jacob Cochran back there, but Evan Janik is in the middle of a hornet's nest right now as well. And you mentioned it, Chris. Donnie Honeycutt saw what was happening. His boy, I gotta do something here. I gotta back it off a little bit. Let's Travis Bieber by for the lead. Going to put him back into second position. Brock Whiteman has worked his way up to third, and he's the biggest mover of the night in that number 41. He chimed in the chat. He appreciates the kind words, man. We appreciate you putting on show each and every week in that number 41. Glad you are tuning in, and we're glad to have you not only in the race but in the chat. Right now we're watching that number 12, Cody Riggs, trying to hold off Evan Janik. Chris, is there a go point? How do these drivers know when it is time to go?
Well, I'm hoping we can ride on board, Cam, with Evan Janik right here. Yeah, let's watch him down here into 1 and 2. Yeah, he's clutching it. He's clutching it down into turn 1 and down into turn 3. I saw Donnie Honeycutt also doing the same thing. Well, somebody who's not doing that, even though we think he's saving, is Jacob Cochran. I have not seen him clutching the number 8 machine. So, yeah, you can see him riding on board with him right here. He is just choosing to be easy on the throttle to save fuel right here. You can watch Janik kind of pull away a little bit right there on corner exit. I think that as soon as you get close to your window, I think you can probably feel comfortable going then. But you know, the moment Ellis, that you get to your window, that fuel calculation is going to shift. It's going to change a little bit the moment that you start driving a little bit harder. So I think these drivers are going to be in fuel conservation mode for a while if the number that we got in the pre-race is accurate.
Yeah, I think that is a interesting storyline that everyone watching on YouTube should be following. We're following fuel. Do these drivers have enough to make it? Will they have to stop? Answers unknown at this point. When these drivers will mash that throttle, also not really sure. It's going to be driver dependent. Currently, Travis Bieber is scored as your leader, the winner in a thrilling race at Atlanta last week. EchoPark Motor Speedway, he did an amazing job of working his way through traffic, hanging on to it, walked away with that thrilling victory. Donnie Honeycutt won a couple of races this season. He is the points or the pole leader, garnering, I believe, close to 8 poles this season on speed. So fastest driver during qualifying there as we ride on board with Donnie Honeycutt in that number 22 machine. Currently, he's second. Brock Whiteman chasing him down in third with Evan Janik, Chris, back to 4th position right now. He lost out to that spot with Brock Whiteman. Just trying to hang on to it if you're these guys right now.
Yeah, definitely just trying to hold on, try to maintain. Here comes Jacob Cochran looking to the inside right here of Cody Riggs. This is a battle right here going on for the 5th position. Put Cochran up into that spot right there. See, he's got Evan Janik up the road right here. We do feel confident that both those drivers, Ellis, are trying to do what they can to save fuel, but a couple different approaches into how they, you know, elect to do that. Yeah, and we'll have to see which one is able to save more fuel for what they're doing. Bradley Minor, he has come to pit road, bringing the number 46. Well, that's Donnie Honeycutt's teammate, and he might just be thinking, I'm going to get in my window. I am in my window at this point. I know I can make it right here if it goes green to the end. So, yeah, I don't mind this call, especially, you know, for Bradley, who he doesn't really have anything to lose. You know, this might work out in his favor.
Yeah, this could be a great call for Bradley Minor. We'll see if those 2 championship hopefuls or 3 championship hopefuls have fuel issues. Janik might have gotten the wall there just a little bit in that 60. That right side has a little bit of wear on it. Smoke flew from that blue turn number 1 wall. I should say turn. That was turn number 1.
It's so hard with the reconfiguration. I want to say the other end all the time. Yeah, exactly. It's really difficult. This is always going to be 1 and 2 to me in my mind, so it's hard to adjust to that.
Absolutely, that front stretch. No longer the front stretch, it's now the back stretch. Is the front stretch a front stretch? Is it a corner? I don't know, but what I do know is we're 30 or 40, I should say, laps away from the checkered flag flying here at Phoenix. Travis Bieber trying to go for 2 in a row. He's your current leader. The exhaust flames coming out of the right side of that car as he lifts off the throttle in that number 23 machine. I would say that 23 has become almost as iconic as that number 22 of Donnie Honeycutt, Chris. You make no mistake, when you see that 22 currently running in the 2nd position, you're going to know it's Donnie Honeycutt in that Callaway Golf machine. Kind of an ominous looking scheme rolling up on the back of you, striking a little bit of a chord in each driver that it approaches. Do you think paint schemes intimidate drivers at all? Do you have paint schemes that show up in your rearview mirror and you get scared for one reason or another?
Yeah, definitely. I think that paint schemes, you know, and, you know, your reputation, especially, you know, if you run that paint scheme every week. You know, I'm one of these guys, I'm kind of a racing purist at heart. One of the things that I dislike about current modern day NASCAR racing is, you know, the revolving door of paint schemes on vehicles. I think that, you know, there's something to be said for brand identity and race driver identity. And so, yeah, I think that, you know, if you are to keep a paint scheme, you know, fairly often, I think that, you know, keeping that one every single week and a driver sees that in their mirror, I think they can definitely invoke some intimidation out of them.
Right now, Cody Riggs doing everything he can to invoke some intimidation out of those he's racing around. There's Bradley Minor. Just wondering, is that a canary in the coal mine potentially
Yeah.
whether or not Bradley
what you did there.
Minor thought, yeah, they're right. Whether Bradley Minor thought that he no chance of making it on fuel. I'm just wondering, I'm just wondering what that means for our leaders. I can't help but think about if they've got enough fuel to make it and how much they are going to have to clutch it, how much they are going to have to really lift off that throttle and really back up those corners if they are going to make it. Just 35 laps from now, we're going to find out the answer to that question. Folks, man, let's do a little bit more trivia while we got some single file racing going on here. Chris, I got a question for you. You want a UFO question or a history question?
We'll
let you choose.
You're hitting a couple of my passions right here. Let's go with a history one.
All right, history question here tonight. Question reads, the name Phoenix was suggested because the city was built directly atop the ruins of which ancient civilization? Is it the Maya? That's A. B is the Hohokam. And C is Inca. What is the correct answer? The name Phoenix was suggested because it was built directly atop the ruins of which ancient civilization? Right now, riding on board with Donnie Honeycutt, he's got a pretty good view. Not quite close to Travis Bieber. And Chris, I think the gap that we're seeing tells the story. These drivers are off the throttle big time. Right now, just about 33 laps left in the in the race. Donnie Honeycutt second. Travis Bieber is your leader.
Yeah, Travis Bieber choosing to not go out there and save fuel, but this is the battle right here that I've had my eyes on right here. Evan Janik, Jacob Cochran been running close to each other all night. I think, Ellis, that, I think Jacob Cochran is doing everything that he really is supposed to do and everything he needs to do tonight. He's keeping Evan Janik, who was his closest championship contender coming into tonight, within vision, right? He's keeping in pace with him. Donnie Honeycutt is just up the road as well, his other championship rival. And I think that's a sense of maybe a little bit of frustration for both Honeycutt and Janik that, they're putting together, great races. Of course, they run with Jacob Cochran. They know what he is all about. They know how good he is, but you can't help but be a little bit frustrated with the sense that you're putting together a good race, but that guy that you're competing with, he's also out there matching you step for step.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as we've been kind of watching the live points. We'll keep an eye on that. Just bring it back up in a moment after we talk about the answer to that trivia question. But I just been thinking how frustrating it must be to be running, even in the lead or second or third, and know that you're still not quite getting enough points to dethrone or to catapult the leader, Jacob Cochran, who came in with a pretty healthy, a sizable gap that had to be made up. And these drivers are doing everything they can. You look at Evan Janik, he won the pole. He's likely going to lead, I believe, the most laps at this point. Cochran grabbing the wall a little bit, at least of his championship competitors. And he's still, you can see it. In fact, we'll go ahead and reveal the answer, folks. Several of you said it was Maya, but the actual answer
it's B.
It's the Hohokam. Chris, did you know the answer to that?
Yeah.
It is B.
I did.
To be or not
to
be.
I did know it. And yeah, when you see a question like that, your instinct is definitely to go for one of those more iconic Mesoamerican empires right there. But yeah, that was a very obscure one. I like that one.
Yeah. Doug won that out of a textbook. Right now, you can see the points. We were just talking about it. Janik, third place, but he's 8 points back. He's collected pretty much every single point he can get. And I'm curious, we might be able to confirm this early here. If our producer might pull up the race stats info for Bieber right now. We can kind of take a look at how many laps these drivers have officially led. It looks like Bieber has led 24. I know that's not even close to what Evan Janik had led. I believe Janik was sitting north of 50. Earlier
He's at
in
65
the race.
right now.
Yeah, I think we can go ahead. Can we go ahead and give that bonus point to Janik?
Yeah, I think that the only person that has a chance would be, Travis Bieber and Jacob Cochran are currently at the same laps led. So Yeah, I agree. I think that you can probably go ahead and award that to Evan Janik.
And you can see that brings them within what we believe. This is our best math that we can do. We got the computer doing it for us, but based on what we believe, it's 7 points separating Evan Janik from Jacob Cochran. Just now, 25 laps left. Cochran fourth, Janik third. Both of those drivers, including Donnie Honeycutt, who's second, they're trying to save fuel. They're trying to make it the distance we believe, but we don't know if we can. We've seen other cars come down pit road, maybe thinking that speeding, just not coming down pit road was going to be an impossible task. We watched Jacob Cochran right on the back bumper of Evan Janik, and we know that both of these drivers are lifting. And I just imagine it's got to be difficult when you're racing for a championship to lift. Like, it almost seems counterintuitive. These guys are supposed to be going fast. It's got to be such a precarious, difficult proposition to say, I got to slow it down. In any circumstance, that's difficult. But when you're running for a championship, as folks watching at home are rooting on their favorite drivers, that makes this championship that much more impressive to know that they did this with discipline, right? And it's taken discipline all season long for every one of these three drivers that are right now within striking distance. Jacob Cochran backed off the throttle big time there. Makes you wonder, and he gets it back up. I thought he was maybe going to back off of it a little bit more with 23 laps left in this thing, but yeah, that's going to make it much more impressive. The discipline these drivers have shown tonight has just been absolutely awe-inspiring.
Yeah, it definitely has. And, Evan Janik and Donnie Honeycutt, Ellis, I've been watching both of them. They are both still clutching it. Both of them are still engaging the clutch on corner entry, letting that, those RPMs go away, and doing everything they can to save every drop of fuel that they can. I don't believe that I have seen, and I haven't been riding on board every single moment, but I don't believe I've seen Jacob Cochran do that. So, I've always considered clutching it to be the best, or the most aggressive way to save fuel. So I'm curious to see how the fuel compares between the 8 and the 60 and the 22. Are the 22 and the 60 sitting in a better fuel mileage position because they've been clutching it, or has Jacob Cochran just been, riding about half throttle, 3/4 throttle all the way around this racetrack?
Yeah, it's just impossible to know. What I will say is, Chris, if Janik can get to the lead, and potentially win this race, that could be the difference maker. If we talk about, is it that?
That would be a tie, wouldn't it?
20 point. No. That's a 20-point swing, a 20-point advantage. I'm just looking at the point structure again here, and yeah, it is a 20-point. So if Evan Janik could win, that would be a championship.
Yeah.
I want to confirm our math here real quick. Let's just say that Evan Janik were to win this race. We can see what the live points tell us. Oh, no, you're right. He'll be one back.
Yeah.
He'll be one back.
It would. Okay. Yeah. So I think that he's gonna have to have a little bit of help right here. He's also still got to go up there and chase down Donnie Honeycutt, and Donnie has been. I would say that Evan started out saving fuel a little bit more aggressively than Donnie, but Donnie has kind of, matched him, pace for pace right here. Jacob Cochran's going around Evan Janik right here, and I wonder what this means. Is Janik just getting a lot more aggressive right here, and has Jacob Cochran hit his number, or has Jacob Cochran just decided he's not going to go for it on fuel?
17 laps left. We're not going to have to wait long to find out. Cochran seemingly, firing on all cylinders now, pulls it into a new gear, he maybe has gotten the go-ahead, or Chris, you said it, he might realize that he's not going to be able to make it, so why not go ahead and go all out until you can't go all out anymore. Coming to just 15 laps remaining, everything right now being but decided here at Phoenix Raceway. Currently, Travis Bieber scored as your leader. He's going for back-to-back wins. Donnie Honeycutt second, Jacob Cochran currently third, Evan Janik fourth. Meanwhile, Cody Riggs is fifth. And in the chat, we got Doodlebug switching their alliances. Dustin Lewis is out, so Doodlebug's going for Janik now. Janik's got an uphill climb if he's going to get it done. Can he do it? And I don't think we're going to have any way really knowing, Chris, until we see these cars come down pit road or cross the finish line with that checkered flag waving.
Yeah, I agree right here is, in the pre-race, I think that the number we got to look for, Ellis, is when they get to about lap 153, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to account for, the caution laps that we had. If Travis Bieber has been up here running at, his optimal pace for this entire stint right here, I think that he could, based on the numbers that we got, go to about lap 153, 154 maybe. So, if Travis hasn't been saving, I think that we might see him hit pit road around that point.
He is, as we mentioned, up to nearly a 5-second lead on Donnie Honeycutt. Cochran still pulling away. It's about 0.7 of a second. He's got over Evan Janik right now. Now that gap hasn't opened up massively. But we're keeping an eye on that with just 13 laps remaining here in the race. Folks, stick around. This one is going to be a wild one. I think we're yet to see the best so far. Gino Volante up the track just a little bit on his birthday. And I will go ahead and reveal the secret. We always say it's Gino's birthday, but if you haven't figured out, it's not his birthday every single race. But tonight, we believe it is actually his birthday, Chris.
It is actually his birthday, so genuinely a happy birthday to Gino Volante.
Happy birthday indeed. MRF 98 in the chat talking about the tires letting go. I think that's a good point. There's just, these guys might not have enough left in the tank right now in terms of tires. Certainly we don't know how much they've got literally left in the fuel tank here with just about 11 laps to go. You can see the championship picture down on the bottom right. There's Cochran in the front of the frame, in the back of the frame, in that red and blue 60. That's Evan Janik. Got his work cut out for him. We got some Travis Bieber fans in the chat right now. If he can maybe go back-to-back, I know he'll be making some folks happy. There he is, running currently in the lead. We believe he has not been saving at all.
Yeah, and it's going to be curious right here to see, what Travis is able to do right here in the closing laps right here, riding on board with the number 23 machine right here as he crosses the start-finish line. These drivers right here working now, just 10 laps to go.
Yeah,
in
battle.
this race.
Janik has gotten back by Jacob Cochran. Sorry to interrupt, but Janik has hit the go button, it would seem like, in third position. Janik now stretching it out over Jacob Cochran, almost like the roles had been reversed. But Jacob Cochran realized maybe he didn't have enough fuel to make it and tries to go back into save mode. Whereas Janik just also kind of thrown caution to the wind and said, you know what, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to go for it. I'm curious if we might go on board, Chris. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can go on board with Evan Janik right here. He is still saving. He is still clutching. So I think that just shows that Jacob Cochran has maybe backed off the pace a good bit, to maybe confirm that he is going to make it. Riding on board with the number 8 machine. This is the Downtown Auto Sales for. Now he's clutching it. I haven't seen that too much out of Jacob. In fact, I don't think I've seen it at all out of him tonight. So yeah, he's getting very aggressive with clutching his car, and he is way off the pace.
Yeah, that tells me that there's no way this 23 is going to make it. They're all on equal stints. This one is going to be a wild one, an unpredictable one now with just 7 laps remaining here in Phoenix. Appreciate the comments, MRF 9080. We're glad you are here. We love doing what we're doing and bringing these races to you. Folks, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, you're watching live or on the replay, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. It doesn't cost you a single thing at all. And it's the best way to support these drivers and to support our channel and the work that we do, bring you racing every single week. Travis Bieber, when will he, or will he at all, make that left-hand turn down pit road? Right now, lap 155. We've got 6 laps left here in Phoenix. Travis Bieber scored as your leader. We're keeping an eye on those other 2 cars. You just saw them racing neck and neck, Janik and Cochran. We know they are saving. Donnie Honeycutt, also a wild card in this picture. If Donnie Honeycutt were to get the win tonight, that could bring that car even closer into the championship picture. And Chris, what if these cars run out of gas? There's no way to predict what's going to happen here until it happens, because those cars, I see them closing up on Donnie Honeycutt right now. He's got to be in fuel-saving mode as well.
He is, and, we kind of wrote off Travis Bieber, not anything out of, maliciousness or anything like that, but we figured with the pace that he was running compared to those guys behind him, we just didn't think that he could make it, but here he comes right here, just 4 laps to go in this race. Can Travis Bieber get back here to the checkered flag before anybody else? That would be very impressive, and he is actually, Ellis, he is significantly off the pace right there in turns 1 and 2. Lost a lot of ground to Donnie Honeycutt behind him.
Donnie Honeycutt falling off the pace. All these drivers now, it would seem, are saving fuel. Travis Bieber, the latest in the group to maybe back off that throttle, but you have to wonder, is it too little too late? Now just 3 laps left here at Phoenix. Travis Bieber, your leader, will he make that left-hand turn down pit road? It's not going to be this time that he does it.
Cochran has gotten around Evan Janik.
Oh, man. Cochran now switching positions with Evan Janik again. Has he hit the go button? Now just 2 laps left when these drivers get to the line. Travis Bieber now on lap 159 of 160. 1 lap away from the white flag. If it hits the white flag, it will become official, and we'll run it back to the line. Cochran
Travis
and
Bieber is still running.
Yeah.
And he's not coming to pit road. He's past pit road entrance.
So if he's either gonna win this race or he's gonna run out of fuel trying to do it. The Whiplash Simcams white flag waves over Phoenix and waves over the NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series. It's the last lap of the last race of the last race of this season. Travis Bieber, half a track away. Bieber.
Oh, he's out. He's out.
Into the wall. Bieber's out. Will Honeycutt slide by down into turn number 3 and 4? Does Bieber have enough to make it? Bieber on fumes. It's going to be close.
He got it.
Bieber wins it by a car length over Donnie Honeycutt. Janik is out of fuel. Potentially, he beats Jacob Cochran to the line, but I think it's all going to be for naught. Jacob Cochran unofficially is the 2025-2026 Downtown Auto Sales Series champion, while Travis Bieber pulls a rabbit out of the hat and makes it on fuel, and no one in this booth thought he was going to be able to do it. He runs out. I thought we were going to have a J.R. Hildebrands moment, Chris, from Indy, when he hit the wall off the final corner. Teammate Bradley Minor giving him a little help down the back straightaway. Top 3, Travis Bieber, Donnie Honeycutt, Evan Janik. And I just, for my own benefit and for the fans at home, I want to see if Donnie Honeycutt had won that race, would it have made a difference? The answer is no. It would have put him second, but it would not have actually moved him to the front in the championship standings. So you can see the final standings there. Janik comes up just a little bit short. Donnie Honeycutt also second place in the race, but gonna have to settle for third in the championship. Wow. Folks, that was a wild one that we didn't know what was going to happen until the end. Chris, are you surprised the 23 made it?
I am, but hey, kudos to him, man. He jumped out there to that big lead, and he maintained that lead, and I just didn't think that he would be able to maintain that pace. And in that position right there. But yeah, congratulations to Travis Bieber, man, getting back-to-back wins to close out the season. That's pretty awesome. That was an exciting fuel mileage race for sure.
That really was an awesome race. We haven't had one of those in a while in this series in terms of fuel mileage races, but we got a good one there. We're going to hear from Evan Janik. We'll see if we can't go ahead and move him into the broadcast booth. I thought I had. I don't know if I've got the ability to move him into the broadcast booth via that option. Let's see if we can drag him down in here. Give me 1 second, Chris. Oh, my cursor does not want to move. I might need you to move him in here.
I can get him.
If you can, okay.
All right, and he is with us now.
Evan Janik, driver number 60, finished third tonight. Want to start off by just congratulating you on an amazing season. I know it did not end up the way you wanted to. You have to settle for second in points. Third place finish tonight, just not enough. But man, congratulations on an excellent campaign, several wins on the season. How are you feeling right now in that cockpit after a long, tough race?
We're actually going through the points right now because we have several bonus points and stuff, so it's not done yet. We were meeting on it now when you pulled me, but it was a good season. A lot of ups and downs, but it was definitely a lot of fun.
Man, you did an awesome job. Talk to us about that fuel conservation game at the end. Did you think that Travis Bieber was going to be able to make it?
No, I honestly don't know how he did that. I felt like Jacob and we started saving as soon as the green flag dropped on that last stage. And then I thought Donnie started saving too late too, so I'm surprised he made it. But I mean, it's gonna be close between Jacob and I think, with points. So if I passed him right at the line for third, well, that might have done it.
Very well could have done it. We'll see. We'll find out officially who comes out on top in the championship standings. Before we let you go, find that out. Do you have just any favorite moments of the season? What do you look back on and remember most fondly over the course of this 18 race season?
Man, I don't know. It's a lot to think back on. I would say the Watkins Glen win. That was a lot of fun, and road course racing. There wasn't a lot this season, so next season there'll be a lot more, and I'll have a lot more fun on those. But really just racing with all these guys. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, and we're always joking. And I mean that whole race, because there really wasn't that much going on out there. We were just hanging out in our chat and just BSing back and forth. So just the whole season, there's been a lot of fun.
Oh, man, we've had fun watching it. Before we let you go, any shout outs?
Yeah, thank you to Black Diamond Motorsports, Black Diamond Designs, Super Oil Pros, UDIG NY, and for you guys doing the broadcast. This has been a lot of fun this year.
Hey, man, we love it. Well, we hope to see you again, and congratulations on a third place finish. We'll have to wait to see where you shake out in the points, but we'll throw you back into the waiting room.
Yep, thank you guys.
Absolutely. All right, you heard from him. We're going to go ahead and, in fact, going to go ahead and bring in second place finisher tonight, Donnie Honeycutt. We believe he finished his third in points, but we'll see if he's got any insight into that. Chris, I'll bring him in and I'll let you take it away.
Let's get a word with him. Donnie Honeycutt, this is the Slingshot booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Chris, I got you, man.
Hey, Donnie, man. Great performance tonight. Great performance all season out of you in that 22 car. I know we're waiting for the official count in the points right here. Tell us about the closing stages of this race. We know that you had a lot of speed tonight. We saw you come up through the field from the back and kind of play the strategy pretty nice right there. Did you think that 23 car in front of you had enough fuel to be able to make it to the end?
No, I really didn't. Like I said, I got in front of Jacob and Evan there, and as soon as I got in front of them, I wanted to get a couple seconds in front of them and then try to start saving. But yeah, Travis got on out there, and I was talking to him a minute ago, and he had no plans on trying to stretch it. He was 8 laps short on fuel when he first started to run, and so he just got out there. Then all of a sudden he checked. I can't remember what lap he said he checked, but he was on 2 laps short on fuel, so he started saving, and I ran out of gas as soon as we crossed the start finish line. So if I'd have pushed it just a little bit more, I might have had him.
Well, hey, man, you did a great job, and we definitely kept track of you and all your championship rivals right there. in the closing laps right there. Yeah, and we know how hard y'all were working to save the fuel that you had to save. Ellis asked Evan what his favorite moment was from this season right here. We've been with you guys for 18 races now. Do you have a moment that you look back at, as your favorite moment for this season?
Oh, absolutely. Rockingham. I won both stages and won the race there. Was really strong, and I think that's what started my run for the championship. As from then on, I was pretty strong.
Hey man, yeah, you've definitely been a contender all season. Had your name inserted in the championship hunt. We're going to wait for the official word in the points to say where you were when it all shakes out. Before we let you go celebrate the second place finish and a great championship performance tonight, do you have any shout outs for anybody watching at home?
Yeah, actually, we're just talking to Dustin and those guys, and if they got the points correct, I think Jacob wins the championship by 6 points, maybe. I think it was 10 separating the top three after the race. Like I said, Jacob, he was supposed to do an EOL with me at the beginning of the race, and he did not. But he after the first stage, he restarted at the back. But anyway, yeah. My teammates, Ghost Motorsports, appreciate all the hard work and all the help they've done all year through this league and other leagues as well. My family, my friends, mom, my brother, they watch all of our races, all the team owners, the admins, race controls, you guys for doing the broadcast each and every week. And really love watching you guys on the replay of the broadcast every week. So Downtown Auto Sales for sponsoring the league. And I think that's about it, man. Just enjoy the season, and congrats to Jacob on the championship. Congrats to Evan. Good battle between us three guys for the championship there, and all the guys know for the whole season. Every driver was pretty good and pretty clean for that the whole season. So had a good time.
Well, hey man, we had a great time watching you and calling all the action every week, and yeah, we Ellis and I talk about it often. We think it's awesome that you're out here with your son, and yeah, father son combination right here, and you guys are really fast too. So it's been great to watch, and you definitely had one heck of a performance all season long. So we're gonna let you go celebrate second place finish tonight. Have a good one, man. Congratulations.
Hi, man. Appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
All right, that means it's time to hear for our winner. That would be Travis Bieber in the number 23 machine 2 weeks in a row. We're getting to talk to you, Travis. It's Ellis, Chris, and Cam in the Slingshot TV booth. You got a copy, brother.
I got you guys.
Hey, man, congratulations. How, in the name of everything sacred, did you make it on fuel?
I wish I had a good answer for you guys. I'm not a fuel saver, so when those other guys started saving there, basically right when we went green there, at the end, I was like, well, I'm gonna run 30 laps. I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna get 4 tires and come back out. It said I was 8 laps short after we pitted, and I knew I couldn't save 8 laps even on my best day. So I just figured, I'm gonna run all out. And then got to 30 to go. Looked at the dash, and it said I only needed to save 2 laps. And I thought, well, now I'm 5 seconds ahead. I think I better try to save 2 laps. So I just kind of backed my pace down, and I was watching Donnie's interval, trying to keep that around 5 seconds. And we came around, took the white flag, and my crew chief yelled at me, told me I needed to pit, and it sputtered come into the line there, and had just enough to get across. So. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, I guess.
This is true. You got into the wall there a little bit at the end as well.
Yeah, doing a little too much mirror driving, I guess. Trying to see like, okay, where's Donnie at? How much gap do I have here? And I just sort of missed the apex there, but no harm, no foul.
Yeah, man, it was fun watching you out there all season long since you came in, man. But talk just momentum, fast every single week, and you finished off the season with 2 wins at 2 very different tracks. What does that do for your kind of just overall confidence level headed into? I would imagine you're going to be running the full seasons in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, just really good confidence boost. I think we were probably 4th place car tonight. I just didn't really have anything for Evan or Donnie. or Jake on those long runs. But you know, like I said, you know, it worked out in our favor at the end. But you know, Phoenix, I would say, you know, it's not typically one of my better tracks, but you know, I think being able to show pace and then, you know, kind of what we did there at the end, you know, it gives a lot of confidence headed into next season.
Man, absolutely. Hopefully, you don't have to win uh, any races in that close of fashion, and nail biting of a fashion next season. But we'll look forward to keeping our eye on you, man. Travis Bieber, awesome night. 2 wins in a row. Before we let you go celebrate in Victory Lane and drink that champagne, you got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs. Gotta give a shout out to my Bandits teammates. You know, they I'm sure they were watching the broadcast tonight. Couldn't make it in here to race. And you know, shout out to you guys for all you did for the league and broadcasting. Hope to see you guys back again. And you know, shout out the league sponsor, Downtown Auto Sales. You know, really appreciate all they did and you know, for the guys to put this league on for us. So
Hey, man, we appreciate you. It's been a pleasure watching you all season. Go celebrate that win, brother.
good stuff. Thank you.
Yep. Well, Chris, we can officially confirm that by a margin of 6 or 7 points, unofficially, now official, Jacob Cochran is the 2025-2026 Downtown Auto Sales Series champion. We have brought him into Victory Lane, and we're going to go ahead and catch a word. And you and I can, I think, just split this a little bit. And you want to go first, or I want to go first? Your choice.
You can go ahead and go first, and I'll pick up
All
from
right.
there.
Jacob Cochran, it's Ellis, Chris, and Cam in the Slingshot TV booth. You got a copy, sir.
Yes, sir.
NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series Championship. Add it to the resume, brother. Get the space cleared on the shelf for that championship trophy. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Man, it's been a pleasure watching you now for a couple of leagues, a couple of series. Chris and I have really enjoyed it, just kind of following you. We know you're so good at saving tires, but tonight we got to see you save some fuel as well. Talk to us about, over the course of the race, where was your head at? Was it just hanging on, or were you going for the win, or were you trying to manage those points?
Yeah, it was all about points. You know, stage points. You know, I'd already made my mind up before the race started that I was gonna go all in on stage points. You know, because that's, you know, potentially 20 points there that I could have gotten there. So, you know, there wasn't very many cars out there tonight, and that kind of played in our hand because, you know, the point differentials. But you know, it's fitting that it came down to us three. You know, it was a good run all season. But yeah, what a wild race, man! It saving tires at the beginning and then saving fuel, and that was crazy.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say absolutely was crazy tonight. I didn't have it on my bingo card coming into championship
Yeah.
night that it would turn into a fuel race, but hey, it was very entertaining from our seat. And you know, Ellis and I were kind of watching right there in the closing stages, Jacob, and it seemed like, you know, you and Evan, like y'all were really close to each other, but it seemed like you almost had the approach right here that you just kind of had to keep him like in sight, and Donnie as well. Like
Yeah.
as long as you could stay inside of those guys, that maybe you felt like you were in a pretty good position there.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, stage one, I burnt the right front off of it. Bad. I don't know. I was trying to go back and think about, you know, what I was doing to do that, but you know, I don't know. But we got that caution, and that kind of saved us. Immediately, I knew I was coming to get tires because, like I said, it was all about stage points. But you know, second stage, um, I, I was like, you know, try to get out in front, you know, to lead a lap to get a bonus point. And then Evan started coming back on me, and I just kind of rode behind him. I mean, there wasn't no reason really to push the issue between us. I mean, because there was a little bit of a gap there that I didn't have to, you know, go goes, real crazy with it. So I started just kind of following behind him. Learned a lot, really. I mean, he was entering 3 a little bit higher. Seemed like it helped the rotation into 4, and so kind of started doing that, and it seemed to help on the longer run because at second stage I was kind of able to hang with him for the most part. Um, and then the third stage it was just it was fuel saved from the drop of the flag. So, um, but yeah, it was kind of all over the place, which I guess for a championship race that's what you want, I guess.
It was an absolute thriller, man. We watched you just letting it all hang out there, lap in and lap out. Before we let you go celebrate this championship, I want to ask you kind of about just the overall trajectory of the season. When you look back at it, what was your favorite moment?
Man, um, if I had to point a moment, um, it was probably racing Matthew Hill at Milwaukee Mile. Um, we had some beef here and there on that race, but man, just to race him on the outside like that, and um, that was a lot of fun, and get the win there. But overall, it's been a good year. This season it's been a fun one. All these guys are so fun to race with. I mean, everybody has so much respect for one another. Um, this kind of core group of guys. I mean, you can go down the list and every one of them, man, they're all fast. They all race with respect, and they don't do too many stupid things. Of course, I normally lead the charge in that category, but um, they they're just fun to race with, and we're fortunate to have a good group of guys.
And it was a good group of guys, a good season, and a great way to cap it off for you winning that championship. Any shout outs before we send you off into the desert night to celebrate championship, probably in wild ways?
Yeah. First of all, shout you guys up, Slingshot Racing Media. You guys do awesome job on all the broadcasts. Appreciate the hard work every week. We love going back and watching them. I know I got family and friends. They watch them every week, and it's a lot of fun to go back and and reminisce a little bit. But shout out to my team, Andy Berry Racing. Um, got old Andy a championship, and couldn't get it done at Mystic last year, so I got it done for him here. So um, Andy and Michael Cole, Dustin Lewis, even Evan Janik. I mean, me and Evan and Dustin were in a chat tonight racing together, and I mean, it's just so much knowledge there, and it's just so fun to be around those guys. And then my sponsor, Downtown Auto Sales, for sponsoring us in the league and the series and everything they do. And man, we're gonna party it up, Ellis. We're gonna party it up.
Man, you deserve it, and we hope you enjoy it, and we hope to see you in the future, buddy. Good luck.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good night. We appreciate it.
You too, man.
All right, we're going to take one moment just to hear and touch base with championship owner, but more importantly, league owner and admin, Andy Berry, who we've got with us right now here. Andy Berry, you are live on Slingshot TV. I want to just grab you for a second to say thank you for allowing us to be part of this season and tell the story of all these drivers out here and just cover what's been a pretty amazing season, an amazing group of drivers, and just an amazing organization with NSRLA. And get your thoughts on how this season went down and how the championship fight went down.
Yeah, absolutely. To start off, really appreciate what Slingshot has done for our season. Had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of competition and emotion and stuff like that, but that's what you have in racing. And I think overall, the season went extremely well. It's not just a one-team effort here in NSRLA. It's a whole admin effort. Me, Alex, Jacob, Evan, Morgan, and everyone who does all the little things like media with Casey. So it all comes together as a team effort to make these seasons happen. 18 weeks or 18 races is a very long season. But we look forward to starting the 26th season here in the next couple of weeks or so. Have 2 or 3 weeks off and kind of rebound into it. And overall, I'm pretty impressed. But I'm never satisfied. So we'll take that and hope for a little bit of a better season next season or this coming up season in a couple of weeks, and we'll go from there for sure.
Well, man, it was a great season, a successful season from an admin standpoint. You got a win at Daytona in the season opener, and we'll look forward to seeing you down the road, Andy Barry. Appreciate you joining us for a moment, and go celebrate with your drivers.
Absolutely, y'all. Thank y'all so much for everything, and hopefully we can do something and get y'all back in here with us.
Absolutely. Have a great night, Andy.
You too, bud. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Well, let's go ahead and wind this down and look at the rest of the running order for tonight, folks. Travis Bieber, your winner. Donnie Honeycutt, second. Evan Janik, third. Fourth was Jacob Cochran, your champion. Cody Riggs, Brock Whiteman, Chris. It seemed like they were together all night on track, wind up together in the finishing order. Fifth and sixth tonight for those drivers who just had stellar second halves of the season when they came on. Bradley Minor, that Talladega winner, gets seventh tonight. Gino Volante with a birthday top 10. Happy birthday, Gino. Casey Bristow, ninth. And David Moyer in that 47. Quiet night, but still brings home a top 10.
Yeah, bringing home the top 10 finish right here. And the rest of the field, rounding out the field, we have Adam Pettit in the 96. Saw him retire early. He's going to finish in the 11th spot. Finishing in the 12th spot will be Dustin Lewis. Well, what a great season Dustin put together in that 33 car. He was one of our championship six coming into tonight. Now, there's a lot of people that tuned in to watch Dustin. So, yeah, congratulations to him on the great season. I know he didn't have the night he wanted to tonight, but got a lot to be proud of for sure on the campaign this year. Brandon Vees is going to bring it home in 13th, and Ryan Bittler will round out the field in our final race here in the Downtown Auto Sales National Series.
It was a great series, a great season, and a great way to wrap it up. So many memorable moments, but certainly it ended in memorable fashion with a fuel run for a lifetime for Travis Bieber. Somehow, miraculously, saving enough fuel to bring home the checkered flag. Chris, it's been a great season. Cam, I want to take a second just to thank you for all the work you've done to bring us these live broadcasts and the production quality that you bring every single week and the work that you put into it. Chris and I know eternally grateful for all the work that you have put in. So thank you for really stepping up this season.
We couldn't do it without you, man. You've done an awesome job, and we're very, very appreciative.
Yeah, and Chris, likewise to you, especially tonight, sticking it out. I know you're a little bit under the weather. You wouldn't have known it at all, though, and couldn't do it without you. I know very little about racing compared to you, so I appreciate you being there as a source to lean on pretty heavily every.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I think you're selling yourself a little bit short right there. You know plenty about racing, and I just want to say I appreciate you and all your hard work that you do. This is everything that you see right here on the screen tonight. It's a collection of a lot of work, but it's a lot of Ellis's work that you see right here on the screen every single week. Ellis, you put in a lot of work and a lot of effort, and we're very appreciative of everything that you do right here for the channel.
Well, as the kids say, we're going to shift the Glaze session over away from us and to the fans watching at home. We appreciate you tuning in every single week and turning up in the chat. We've given away so many diecasts, so many card packs over the course of this season, and we wouldn't be able to do it without you folks, and we appreciate you tuning in every single week. Appreciate you subscribing. Last plug for the subs. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, you got another chance to do it tonight. We bring you live racing action 3 or 4 times a week with some big special events kind of sprinkled in the middle. I think let's go ahead and talk about just briefly before we cut it off air tonight. Cam's getting ready to pull the plug probably. We got a big event coming up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We've got the EPI, Elite Performance Industries Race for the Seat. 10 drivers, 1 seat is going to be awarded to one of those drivers in the EPI short track program. Running in a full official season with factory support from EPI, one of the top setup shops in the game. We're looking forward to those short races, 7 p.m. Eastern time, every single night of the week this coming week, March 9th through 13th. And it's going to be, Chris, it's going to be a show. I'm looking forward to it. Nothing quite like some short track, short races.
Yeah, it's going to be very entertaining. And, if you've been watching, Ram's reentry into NASCAR racing, it's kind of in that same vein, right? If you watch the race for the seat for that seat that Minnie Tyrell won. So I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be very exciting. And you really get a chance to evaluate, a lot of driver talent, with the different types of vehicles and the different types of tracks that they're going to. It's going to be a real test for all of those drivers, and only one of them can win it at the end of the week. So it's going to be a very exciting week here on Slingshot TV.
It really is, and I think that's a great way to segue on out of here from Phoenix onto the lights tonight. It was a great night, folks. We appreciate you joining us. Travis Bieber is your winner, and Jacob Cochran is the champion of this NSRLA Downtown Auto Sales Series. Folks, so long for Phoenix. For Slingshot TV, I'm Ellis Thomas, joined by Chris Smith and Cam Gillens. Y'all have a good night. We'll catch y'all next time the green flag drops. Bye for now.